In this demonstration, we will show how C4ADS is using Palantir Gotham to investigate likely participants or enablers in the illicit elephant ivory trade. The links uncovered in this investigation include organizations and individuals who are still currently active and might merit monitoring. We have used Palantir to fuse structured and unstructured data from sources including customs documentation, court records, business registers, and media reports across 5 languages to develop a global wildlife crime database with details on over 500 ivory seizures. The illicit trade in elephant ivory hides within normal trade routes, with a clear path of transport from East Africa to East Asia. Maritime shipping is a crucial element, as the vast majority of illegal ivory by weight is seized at ports along Indian Ocean shipping lanes, which are dominated by fewer than 10 transnational shipping liners. These crimes are carried out by a wide range of highly militarized actors closely tied to regional conflict, political corruption, and organized crime. Combining these disparate sources into a unified platform has allowed us to derive unique insights about the ivory trade, identifying companies, practices, and people repeatedly implicated in the illicit deals. One investigation commenced with a seizure of 6.2 tons of elephant tusks in a container whose contents were declared to be plastic waste originating from the Dar es Salaam port in Tanzania on February 28, 2009. This seizure was one of the top 3 largest seizures by weight ever recorded, and almost simultaneously, on March 2nd and 5th of that year, 2 other containers with the same declared cargo, also originating from Dar es Salaam, arrived at the port of Manila, Philippines, where they were unclaimed. Authorities found that the containers were transporting between 1 and 3 tons of ivory. Initial investigations and news reports linked all 3 containers to the same shipper, Puja Limited, and freight forwarder, Team Freight. Puja Limited only listed a P.O. Box address and was not registered with Tanzanian corporate or shipping directories. The freight forwarder, Team Freight, similarly did not appear to be a well-established shipping business. Income statements from 2009 show that most of their earnings came from 2 Tanzanian pubs rather than from shipping transactions. Diving deeper, the associated properties of Team Freight, such as phone numbers, registered addresses, and connected individuals, were associated with several other companies in both Tanzania and abroad. We can use these links as a jumping-off point to dive further into these networks of companies. Marua Mining Grounds Company Limited is particularly interesting. One company linked to Marua by its contact information is Pentagon International Procurements Consultancy and Commissions Agents, or PIPCA for short, a Ugandan company trading minerals and timber to China, and with an email that appears to tie it to a shipping company in Guangzhou, outside of Hong Kong. On Chinese websites, PIPCA also claims to have sourced gold and other ores in eastern Congo from the Congress of Defense of the People, an armed group headed by arrested warlord General Laurent Nkunda, who was allegedly involved in multiple human rights violations and war crimes from 2002 to 2006. Circling back to Marua, one of Team Freight's associated companies, we find it is owned by Mineral Base Limited, a mining company registered in the DRC, which also appears to own another company called Tremalt Limited. Tremalt was indicted by the UN Security Council for furnishing arms and equipment to the Zimbabwean Defense Forces and the Congolese Armed Forces during the Congo War in 2002, and was sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury for supporting the Mugabe regime. Brecon Mines, which previously owned Tremalt, actually shares a phone number with Marua, indicating that Tremalt's previous and current ownership is likely connected. Brecon was owned by a John Brendenkamp, a Zimbabwean also sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury Department, who called him one of Mugabe's cronies. Currently, Tremalt is still active, participating in a joint venture with a DRC state-owned mining company, and also operates a gold property in the Shinyanga in western Tanzania. Moving from Africa to the Asian side of the network, multiple Asian and Middle Eastern shipping companies and logistics providers were linked to the original ivory shipments. In particular, an employee of the UAE-based Sharaf Shipping Company prepared the paperwork for the shipment in the Haiphong seizure. Sharaf Shipping is a subsidiary of the Sharaf Group, which is owned by a Tanzanian politician and his wife, although they were later cleared of involvement in the case, claiming they were victims of a political smear campaign. Another subsidiary of Sharaf Group is Trans-African Logistics, or TAL for short, a car freight station at Dar es Salaam port. The group's managing director, a British national, was arrested in August of 2013 in possession of 24 kilograms of ivory, as well as lion's teeth, nails, and elephant bone. So finally, to recap, we connected 3 ivory seizures with a combined weight of over 10 metric tons through their shared logistics and shipping networks. Through network and link analysis using open source data, we were able to unearth linkages between ivory traffickers, conflict financiers, and seemingly legitimate multinational shipping and trade businesses. Many of these organizations are still active, including Team Freight, which is still a licensed freight forwarder with the Tanzanian Revenue Authority in 2014. We at C4ADS are continuing to lead and coordinate multiple active investigations with a network of 50 NGOs, government agencies, and private sector corporations. With this network, we are working to identify and disrupt similar syndicates currently trafficking in ivory and other illegal environmental goods. We look forward to sharing further work soon.